Today we're going to be testing the NCV8871LVBGEVB Adjustable Output Non-Synchronous Boost Controller Evaluation Board by Semiconductor. The equipment we'll be using today will be a function generator. We'll also be using a DC laboratory power supply with 2 voltage outputs. And we will also be using an oscilloscope. And on the output of the board we'll have a DC voltmeter and a programmable electronic load. For our connections to the board, we're going to have an 8 volt DC input going to V in and ground. We're also going to have a 5 volt enable input going to our enable sync pin and ground. And on our output, we'll have our electronic load and our voltmeter hooked to both our V out and ground. And we will have channel 1 of our oscilloscope hooked to our VSW pin and ground. To begin our test, our V in will be set to 8 volts DC and our enable voltage will be set to 5 volts DC. However, we are going to start the test with the enable disconnected. And then we're going to turn on our 8 volt supply. And here we can see that we have between 7 and 8 volts of output on our voltmeter. Next we're going to connect our 5 volt enable voltage to our enable and sync pin. And here we can see that our output voltage goes up to approximately 10.6 volts. Next we're going to set our electronic load to constant resistance mode. And we're going to set it for between 10 and 11 ohms. And turn it on. And here on our output we should see approximately 1 amp of output current and our same approximate 10.6 volts DC on our output. Now looking at our switch node frequency from our VSW pin, we can see that we have approximately 170 kilohertz. Next we're going to disconnect our 5 volt enable from the enable pin. Next, we're going to make sure our function generator is set to 200 kilohertz with an amplitude of 5 volts peak to peak and an offset of 2.5 volts. And it's going to be square wave with a duty cycle of 50%. And we are going to be using a high Z output. And the positive leg from our function generator is going to connect to our enable and sync pin. And we're just going to leave the negative floating. Now we're going to turn the output of our function generator on. And once again our board powers up. And once again we can see that we have our 1 amp of output current and our approximate 10.6 volts of output voltage. And finally we can see that the frequency on our VSW pin is 200 kilohertz. This concludes the test of the NCV8871LVBGEVB Adjustable Output Non-Synchronous Boost Controller Evaluation Board. For more information, please visit www.onsemi.com or contact an authorized distributor.